Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
It's that time again.
What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll. From sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll. From sea to shining sea. What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll. From sea to shining sea. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball, hey now cannonball, 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 cannonball.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing F1 2018 Season 16, round number 13 here at Spa Francorchamps. My name is King-Kodiak, and I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race. Did not intend for my interview music to start. Apologies there. Right, it is just myself in the commentary box this evening. My faithful companion, Mr. Hamish Sopwith, is not available to join me. So, without further ado, again, apologies for the delay for this evening. We had a lobby restart, which is what prompted me to start the intro sequence again. So, let's have a look at our track facts. We all know Spa Francorchamps. Every motoring enthusiast, every racing enthusiast knows this classic track very, very well indeed. Spa is notorious for its first lap crashes, and for the 2012 race, yet another example of a big first corner impact indeed. Maldonado essentially running over Romain Grosjean, and who can forget 1998, the very wet start there. In early years, Spa Francorchamps was a treacherous 14-kilometre track designed for speed, which used mainly public roads. It did indeed. And any fans of Project Cars 2 will know how that feels. It's very bumpy, and yeah, it's literally just, do you have a fast car? Give it a try on these public roads. Spa remained on the F1 Canada until the late 1960s, where the fatalities were common, and drivers began voicing their concerns at racing at such a dangerous circuit. That they certainly did. They certainly did. The next track fact coming in. There it is. Belgian Grand Prix moved to other tracks at Zolder and Nivelle in the subsequent years before a return to Spa on a much shorter circuit of a safer 7 kilometres in 1983. Most certainly did. Just need to do a quick adjustment and we'll return back to the track fact shortly. There we go. Those are the tyres available for us. The Super Soft, the Soft and the Medium. It's going to be interesting to see what our drivers do. I have been informed it is dry throughout for this race here at PC F1. So we'll see how our drivers handle it. Brendan Lee blitzing the boards last season with the pole time of 1:41.966, and as we invariably see in this season, we would expect to see that time come tumbling down with a 39-minute 34 race time overall by the Mercedes eSports driver. So we'll see how well that time can be ripped apart. There it is, 4.8 miles, 7 kilometers, 19 turns, 4.3 miles, beg your pardon, 2 DRS zones, and it's just such a classic track. It's so difficult to have a bad race here. It is such a driver's favourite, it's a fan's favourite, everybody loves this track. And it's over to the hot lap.
Welcome to Spa Francorchamps in Belgium, where we are riding on board with Floris for the AOR Hype Energy F1 leagues, as he takes you on a lap around this beautiful circuit. We're going across the start-finish straight and then braking just before the 100-meter board at La Source. A very difficult right-hander here, but not much curb needed though. Now just about to head to El Rouge, the corner that most people know about today. Aiming for the left as you go up and then onto the right curb at Radion, where we do see a lot of incidents in the past. Going through the Camel straight, hitting the DRS flap wide open. Very important now to keep the car straight and narrow. Doing this will give you enough speed to go for the entrance of Le Camp. Touching the left curb, now approaching turn 8, another tough right-hander coming up. Very important to keep the car near the left curb to maintain your speed. Dropping the car down to 4th gear just as you brake for Pichau. Now down to 2nd as the track goes downhill. Power has been nailed on throughout these turns, and now we're going through up the gears here at double gauche. But this time not shifting down yet, staying around 6th and 7th gear. Starting at the left-hander and then going all the way to 8th gear as we go to Le Fan. Tricky part of the circuit to get nailed on. Aim towards the right here and then go towards the left. Will carry across the momentum towards campus. You brake a bit harder than normal and go towards the right-hand centre of the apex. Now this is the bit where you need to have the car at the most power, full throttle. Keeping the car steady around Paul Frere is definitely crucial at this point. The engines around here sound awesome. Make the most of it. Don't lift the throttle at all throughout Francorchamps. This is the time where it can either be won or lost. Brake at 100 metres to get the bus stop chicane absolutely right. Use plenty of the curb on these final corners, and that is a lap around Belgium today. Apex Online Racing is sponsored
and there it is. I didn't pause that quick enough before we went back to the sponsors' messages. There it is. That is a wonderful lap of Spa by Floris indeed. Let us head down to track. Bit of a depleted field. Unfortunately, this time it is just 13 drivers that are with us. A few real-life commitments going on. A few internet problems have all struck at the same time. But that is the nature of the beast, unfortunately. But at the moment, as you can see, it is our Mercedes pair of Formula Danny and Garrix that lead the way. Let's get our relevant points on. Not surprising, we're seeing the Super Softs come out in force. 140.175, already putting Brendan Lee's previous lap into the dust. But then that's by no means a criticism against Brendan Lee. I mean, he absolutely destroyed the field in Season 15. Formula Danny, the only man really to hold the candle to him. So I think it's fair to say a double F1 Esports champion is that's a fairly well proven collection of statistics for him. But yeah, so there's not a slight against him, but it's just the nature of the beast that the way that the cars are that much quicker in this season, that the lap times will continue to come down. Slick, Carrington, Haddad and Failer yet to get a time on the board. And we're just seeing everybody come in after their first hard laps. Garrix, Timp and Tunisia and all Prationator is also coming out as well to get another lap on the board. 10 minutes to go. Now, the extended qualifying session was really kind of implemented for tracks such as Spa because it's so long. It's miles bigger than most of the tracks that we tend to see. So the extended qualifying time when it was 10 minutes only for Q3, it was just a mad scramble, and very commonly you'd have people tripping over each other, especially if it was wet conditions as well. So you would have just basically chaos anarchy going on when the when qualifying was due to be. Apologies here, ladies and gentlemen. I need to move my windows around again. And there we go. Nature of the beast. Right, that should be it. That should be the last movement I need to do. Where is Garrix? Where has he gotten himself to? He is coming through Blanchimont, heading down towards the chicane. We saw how Floris did it. And let's get to... Where are we? Everyone, of course, running the super soft. Did see Slick consider a soft run, and my guess is that people outside the top 10 are going to run the harder tyres at least. A bit of a problem in Sector 3. A bit of a tail wiggle for Garrix then. Oh, that's his teammate coming out, so maybe Formula Danny is going to give Garrix a bit of a tow as he's come through Eau Rouge over Radion. Now down the Camel Straight. Now this is obviously where those that have started on the second row tend to get a bit of an advantage over those that have actually started on pole. We've seen it so many times, and a big old toe there from Formula Danny gets well out of the way for Lecom. Absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We've seen this so many times where people on the pole are disadvantaged due to the level of slipstream that people tend to get down that camel straight. So yeah, and Formula Danny rather demonstrating the effect of it. His DRS was wide open and still Garrix was able to close in. Okay, Formula Danny backed out of that, of course, when he got to Lecom to give his teammate the best shot at getting a decent time on the board. Well, 140.7 is not a bad time by any stretch, although it is 6/10 behind where... well, there you go, just shy of 6/10 behind where Formula Danny is. But as we tend to see, no one has set their fastest laps yet. Only Jan Fader has yet to come onto the field. So we will see if anybody changes that. We'll see if he decides to come out on field. Slick and Carrington completing their out laps. Most people on a time lap by this point. Here comes Garrix. What does he do? He had a big old handful of slipstream. Does he improve? Let us see. Answer is over the line, and he did not improve. He remained in third position. And David Teniza, right, was the wrong one. David Teniza slots in with a 140.6 in the Renault, but still remains half a second behind Formula Danny at the moment. Just going to make a small volume adjustment here to boost that. Should be a little bit louder. The car sound should be a bit louder. And now Garrix is returning the favour to Formula Danny. I mean, Formula Danny doesn't need any help to go fast, admittedly. But there we go. And then Garrix backs right out of that. Garrix was just caught a little bit earlier. I think purely because Formula Danny was just hanging on to the back of his teammate and got behind him. And Garrix wasn't certainly being slow. Oh, there is one of the Renaults. Is that Haddad? It must be. Oh, no, it's actually Teniza that caught the back of the Mercedes, but he's already set his time. Fuel light very much red and stays out of that. Haddad is coming back into the pits, it seems. Where is Alvaro Carrington? That's Lecom. He's just coming through, so he is towards the top of the lap, so I expect to see a decent time from him. There is Timp in the background, and Carey has pulled out of that one, so no time on the board for him. Timp slots into third then with a 140.6. That pushes Garrix down to fifth. But look at that. From second to sixth is within 3/10. So that's a very small gap. Considering how long the lap is, that is not bad at all. But then you've got a big 4/10 gap between first and second. So Formula Danny sending a cracking pole time straight out of the box. And he's on a time lap as well. So does he improve from his already impressive pole time? Big kick of oats there, and he does. 140.060. Nicely done for the Mercedes eSports driver as well. So that puts a full half second, that's a strange sentence, a half second between himself. Words are seemingly disobeying me at the moment. They're just never good for a commentator. Where is Photon actually? He's on red fuel and no ERS deployment, so he will be coming back to the pits. Can't see who that is behind. Is that Preschneider? It is. It's the Sauber of Preschneider. He'll be coming in. Yeah, he does indeed. So who is going to have a Banzai lap? Non-runner, is he on track? He's coming in, I think. Yes, he does. So Carey, we saw him back off early. He's just started his time lap. Let's follow him through his lap. Over Radion and then heading towards the Camel Straight. Not really much for him to do. Just stick your foot to the floor and keep that DRS wide open. He's going to slam on the anchors just before the 50-meter board and then sweep through Lecom. 7, 8, and 9. Left, right. Sorry, right, left. Oh, a touch on the grass. Not going to be too bad, though. And then through Bruxelles. Going to let stay over to the right-hand side, then let it wander over to the left. Snap over to the right. Oh, that was a lot of curb he was taking to come through that no-name corner. Turn 11. Now starting to come downhill through the double left-hander off Pouon. So easy to just fly off the road. You take too much entry speed and it will just spit you out onto a big runoff, admittedly, but you'll just ruin your time going out that far, and that's going to invalidate it for Carey. Too much through campus. He's still going to push, though, as he's gone a little bit wide through Stavolo, but pushing on nonetheless. We'll see what time, unless he's just going to bring that into the pitch, which he might do. So we'll see what he does. Through Blanchimont, he's wide again. So this surely is an invalid lap for him. He's turned the deployment right down. That's going to be straight into the pits, I would imagine. He's actually got no battery left. So he's got nothing to deploy at that stage. Indeed, Carey comes in still, our bottom four without a time. surely now people need to be getting out on track pretty soon. There was less than 3.5 minutes left. Garrix and Marek have come out. Marek, our sole Haas driver this evening. He's minding his own business. No one using anything other than the super soft tyres. That's not a surprise at all. We'll have a look at the pit strategy when we go down to the formation lap. Marek getting some heat into the tyres. Who else is coming out? Timp is coming out on track as well. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we just see lots of outlaps spring up at the same time. Oh well, this is Marek taking as much time as he can to just sweep in and then absolutely nail it. Full battery on the Haas then. It's down to La Source. Just kisses the apex. Lets the car wander over to the left, and there's Preschneider jumping out. He's going to pick up a tiny bit of slipstream. Preschneider just needs to stay where he is, and Marek will sweep through a route up and over Radion and onto the Camel Straight for them for the Haas. What can he do? Haddad considering a soft run. He hasn't got a time on the board. That's again not great for the championship contender, and there we go. There's lots of outlaps springing up at the same time, exactly as I thought would happen. So who's come out? Danny is come out. Photon is out. Timp is on it's just about to start his lap. Then Tanisa has come out. Pretty much actually everybody except for Slick and Carrington are on track at the moment. So Haddad does seem to have gone for those soft tyres. Well, fair enough. Why not? He's looking for the contra strategy. I mean, the Renault pair did the contra strategy brilliantly well last week. So we'll see how well they can do this way. There's the Mercedes pair coming through. Whoops, Haddad potentially chopping one of them off, but I think both of them are on an outlap. That's unless Garrix was on a time lap. Oh, Garrix may have actually been on a time lap, but he came through, I think, without penalty, without being impeded. So, and that looked a bit wide coming through Pouon, but he's pushing on nonetheless. Where's Marek? We were on board with him. He's just coming to the end of his lap. Let's see what he can do. 8th position with a 1:41.263. Finds himself 1.2 off the pace at the moment. What can he do? Streams on down to the line, and it is a 1:41.088. So improved in time, but not position. Remains in 8th position, and he will have nothing left in the tank. Not enough fuel to set another lap. He will start no higher than there. Formula Danny. Where is he? He's got a Red Bull following him. That must be non-runner. That is, again, the bus stop chicane. What can Danny do? That's a very wide entry, so he's just starting his time lap. Problem in Sector 3. Is anybody improving? And Slick and Carrier coming out, but left a little bit late. Unless Slick can actually make it towards the line. Whoa, big snap of oversteer. There's Garrix. But I think he's completed his time. Yep, he has. So red fuel left for him. So he'll be flooring it to give his teammate a decent tow up through. It's not really a place you want to tow. It's up and over Radion, but there we go. That was just a little bit unlucky. That's just where Garrix was caught. So he'll now slow down and crawl back to the pits. Tim will start no higher than 3rd with that 1:40.6. That was Carrington flying past. What can he do? No time on the board for Carrington. Oh no, he must have invalidated that one. Slick didn't get a time on the board, and he will start no higher than 10th. Where is Danny? That's Photon. We'll follow him through his lap. Does he improve? He's got half a second to find to dethrone Formula Danny. Problem in Sector 2, but we won't know who that is. Here he comes into the bus stop chicane. On the gas, keeps it nice and balanced, but again, a big old... It looks like he's going sideways down the road. Does he improve? Tanisa actually does jump up into 2nd. Photon didn't improve in position. He got 1:40.570, but Tanisa in 2nd. Preschneider jumps up to 4th. Look at that. 3 cars within the same 10th of a second, but that's still half a second behind Formula Danny. Once again, the Mercedes frontrunner looking to blitz the field as he did last time. And there is, I think that's Garrix that's going very slow. There is Chromatic yet to... Formula Danny's done it again. He was determined to get under 140. Didn't quite manage it, but still an impressive time. And, Crow was dragging his teammate. It was Jan Fehler that's just flown past. What can Jan do? Chromatic will start no higher than 7th with that 41.0. Can Jan get on the board? No, it's invalid. No time for the 2nd McLaren. So Slick, Carey and Fehler will have free choice of tyre. Haddad did get a time with the soft tyres, 1:42.576. And, well, that is it. That is the qualifying order as you see it. So just waiting for Gerrits and Chromatic to retire the cars to the pits. Wow. I really didn't expect to see Carrington without a time on the board, but that just goes to show that, you know, even the greats make mistakes. And nice 4-car procession indeed. It actually looks like, I think that's, is that Gerrit? Oh no, it's Formula Danny's car. Actually looks like they're kind of squeezing it. It looks like they're trying to pick it up off the floor. Now just waiting for Gerrits to retire his car back to the pits. Wow, that was an unreal pace from Formula Danny. Whether that was slipstream assisted is, well, we won't know that because we weren't watching the entire lap, but there was certainly slipstreaming going on between the two. But even still, half a second is a stunning amount of time, and only 21 thousandths off, breaking into the 39s. Very nicely done by Daniel Beresnay. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, but I do what I can. So I was waiting for non-runner to ready up. And there it is then. So Formula Danny takes the pole spot in dominant form. Then a very close flurry of cars for Tunisia, Photon, Preishnader and Timp taking us down to 5th position. Then it's Gerrits in 6th. Chromatic and Marek very close together, 7 and 8. Non-runner a little bit off the pace in 9. And then Haddad setting that time on the soft tyres, so harder compound than the rest. And then Slick, Carrington and Failer without a time on the board, so uncertain where we are going to find them. Now, because I'm not entirely sure, I was told it was going to be dry, but I've actually forgotten whether that was before or after the restart. I think it was after the restart, so we're expecting a dry race. So what you see is what we are going to get, unless, of course, there is chaos and anarchy coming into La Source. We all know how tight that is, and that looks pretty dry to me. So as the drivers ready up, they make any last-minute changes they wish to make. We all know the process by now. Any setup changes they want to do, they'll of course be switching over to their race setup. Any last-minute fiddling they want to do now's the time to do it. They've had their time to practice. They've had the time to hot lap, and now is the time to do it for real for our 13 drivers. Again, apologies for the slightly depleted grid, but unfortunately real life intersected and disrupted proceedings for our drivers. So a few of them have readied up, just waiting for the rest to do so, and then we will get this magic circuit underway. 50% race distance, of course, it is 7. I cannot get my words. 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles. Here it is then. We will get our parade lap underway. All 13 drivers getting their race on. Let us see then what pit strategy. Nope, that's the wrong one. Pit strategy then. What are our drivers likely to do? And that animation doesn't want to work. That worked absolutely fine before I went live, and for some reason it doesn't want to do it. That's annoying. Let's see if that one wants to work. Yes, the commentator's names one works, even though one of us isn't here. That's annoying. The pit strategy doesn't want to work. Never mind, we will do what we can. What did our back 3 go with? Interesting. So Slick and Carrington went for the softs and Jan with the mediums. Interesting. I'm rather expecting the super softs to go to round about lap 6 or 7. Bearing in mind they've put a few, 1 or 2 laps on these already, so I would think around about lap 7 is when the super softs will be ditched for the softs to take them to the end. The soft runners around about, again, I'm more hazarding a guess, but I think it's going to be around about lap 13, 14 before we see the soft starters come in. The mediums could go right the way kind of to about 18 and then stick a set of super softs on, but we will see. Broken wings and shenanigans. Wow, Danny's only 3 seconds ahead of Tunisia. He's wanting to get on with it. he's flying off like the race has started. I have seen this before, but Formula Danny knows the deal. He knows full well we are under these conditions. Slightly unusual to have a gap at that far out front. Formula Danny is very keen to get on with it, but it's not really going to serve him anything because he's going to have to wait longer on the pole spot now. But here comes the rest of the field. The AI control takes over. I think it's just after the last part of the... or it might be just before the last part of the bus stop. Here comes Jan Vela in the last car to form up. Let's see. There's a Preishnader then in 4th position. So as soon as Jan has formed up, here we go then. We know the procedure. It is 3, 4, it is 5 lights. It is time to wind them up and let them go. A quick start then from the lights and a decent start then from... Look at that, that's Preishnader. Has had a stonking start trying to get over to... We can't see anything, cameraman. He's trying to get over to the inside to try and move up from that 4th position. He's got up to 3rd. Side by side with the Ferrari is Timp. And that Photon that's been demoted 2 positions already. Wow, that was the Williams of Timp really getting slightly out of shape. Coming up and over to Adion. Lovely back shot then from the Williams. As Preishnader has already had Tunisia. Look at that. That's how strong the slipstream is. Whoa, as everybody then cramps up. Doesn't look like anybody's lost any front wings at the moment. Tunisia has lost that position to Preishnader. What a stonking start then from the Sauber. There's a bit of dust being kicked up by someone. The Garrix is under a lot of pressure from Marek side by side coming through Bruxelles. But that doesn't come off. There is Formula Danny giving himself a little bit of a gap already. Looks like everybody's made it through. No big gaps at the moment. But of course, we will do our best to keep an eye on everybody involved. Look at that. Look at the gap the Formula Danny's already got. That's nearly a second already. Preishnader is already, 5 tenths ahead of David Tunisia. And that's, bearing in mind, Tunisia is still our championship leader. So that's not a slow car. And they're all on the same set of tyres, under roughly the same amount of life. Of course, they have done a few laps for qualifying on them. But what a stonking start for Preishnader, and he's charging off after Formula Danny. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that battle. Preishnader has not had the greatest season. Formula Danny getting a couple of wins under his belt in the last few rounds, so he's looking to make it a hat-trick. There we see Photon. Oh, wow, Chromatic getting the inside for the second half of the bus stop. Can he make it done? Can he get the position done? No, not quite. He has to form back in line, but Chromatic is really looking to get on with it and get past Photon. Not quite happening at the moment. Photon is... Wow, where's his pace gone? Unless he's got a bit of broken wing. The wing looks fine, to be fair. No one's coming to the pits, so no immediate incidents. Let's have a little look further back. Oh, Garrix is under a lot of pressure by Marek. Actually, let's stick with Chromatic. It looks like he's shaping up for a move on Photon. Photon going to the inside, but the camel straight's just too long. And we can see up front, that is Timp and Tunisia side by side. But Timp has had to bail out of that. Chromatic in nice form. Whoa, side by side with a bit of oversteer as well for good measure coming through Lecom. And that is 5th position for the McLaren. Non-runner and Haddad have swapped positions as well. There's a decent run for Haddad considering he's on the harder tyre as well. Look at this train here. Absolutely brilliant. And in fairness, Preishnader is gaining on Formula Danny, so Formula Danny can't just run off like he has done in the last few races. Timp is on the back of Tunisia. That's a battle for 3rd. And then you've got this kind of train forming here. That's Chromatic, Photon, Garrix, Marek. Essentially the rest of the field, because no one is outside of a second yet. One of the board updates, we'll get a full view of where everybody is. Because DRS not available to our drivers yet, but I can imagine there's going to be a fair amount of shuffling around once that DRS becomes available. And Preishnader is staying right with Formula Danny. He's equidistant between Formula Danny and David Tunisia. It's about 7 tenths in both directions. Oh, absolutely. I'm really impressed with how Preishnader's doing. And then if we have a look at Timp, he's right on the back of the championship leader. The leading Renault at the moment cannot shake off the Williams esports driver. Another fastest lap by Formula Danny, but Preishnader is not far off that pace at all. Let's get what the fastest lap is. There you go. It's only just over a tenth. Only just under a tenth and a half between the best laps of Preishnader and Formula Danny. And now we're starting to see. Yes, Chromatic is outside of DRS range to Timp and Jan Vela, but Jan Vela is on the medium tyre, to be fair, so that's not really a surprise. Back shot then from the Williams. That's Chromatic under pressure from Photon. Can Photon return the favour to Chromatic that he did last lap? No, he can't. He's too far back. Timp not making a move on Tunisia either. We saw further up. There's Carrington, a non-runner swapping positions. Carrington on the softer tyres is not going well for non-runners. He's squeezed in between. Carrington is slick. So we're seeing the harder tyre runners now starting to come now starting to get their tyres up and running, but Non-Runner is struggling. Whether he's got damage, whether those tyres are just not working for him, we don't know, of course. And Failer is staying right with the pack. Oh, big kick of oversteer for the medium shod McLaren, but he is staying right in the fight. So many battles going on, and as we are accustomed to seeing in the top tier here on the PC, it takes a long time for the field to disperse. Even though we've got a depleted grid, there's still lots and lots of fighting going on. They don't just spread out, and that's the last we see of them. Now, Formula Danny nearly has broken DRS from Preschneider. Not quite, but he is getting there. Tunisia now beginning to close back in on the Sauber, but Timp is right there as well. He's not giving up on that particular chase. 1.3 separates Timp and Chromatic, so Chromatic is playing the defensive game from Photon now. There is the McLaren and the Ferrari in the background of the shot, as you saw. Tunisia getting, I think it was a snap of oversteer rather than making himself known to Preschneider. A little bit too far back to think of things like that. Through La Source once again. Here we go. Slipstream and DRS will be playing a factor this time. Let's see how the front of the order shuffles up. And Formula Danny hasn't quite, by the nearest of margins, has not broken DRS from the back of Preschneider. So we should start seeing the rear wings open. There they go. But even still, here comes the Renault of Tunisia. Is he topped out? He's topped out! He had nothing left in that top gear. That's why he couldn't gain, even though he had the slipstream. There was nothing he could do as Non-Runner loses another position. Surely he's got problems on that car as Photon and Chromatic were swapping positions with the McLaren. Whoa, wow, hello Haddad. Nice to see you as well. He's suddenly made himself known in the shot. And that's Marek now starting to get into trouble. The Supersofts are probably beginning to get a bit second hand now, so the soft runners are going to start to come good. And just behind that was Slick with Non-Runner and Failure in short succession. Keeping very much an eye on this train. That's first to fall in Italy, and then that's Photon side by side with Chromatic coming into the campus chicane. But the McLaren just manages to fend off the Ferrari. But look at that lot behind. Gerrits, Marek, Haddad, and Carrington has got the back of this pack now. So Carrington and Haddad, the lead of the soft runners. Of course, there's only three of them. Slick a little bit further back. But now the soft runners are going to start to come good. There you see Marek wandering a little bit far off the end of the curb Paul Frey before we come through Blanchimont. This will be where the super soft runners are really struggling. Of course, these high-speed corners are what test the tyre the most. There goes Haddad for a look around the outside, coming towards the bus stop. Very, very brave to try and move through there. No one yet coming into the pits, jumping back up to the lead battle. Formula Danny's lost a bit of lead. Look at Preschneider. He's right with Formula Danny. Of course, Formula Danny getting a great old drive out of the source, but you heard how the wheels just span up on Preschneider's car. Not a lot of grip left in those tyres, but every one of the top eight's got the same problem. They've come through Radeon. Photon once again almost pushing Chromatic up the hill. He's had to jump out, and Failure has got himself a penalty. That's a shame for the medium shot. Whoa! Hello, Gerrits! Help yourself! Forces his way, just barges in the middle. Photon and Crow. Wow, could Chromatic lose the second position? They come through Les Combes. I'm stunned by the move. Oh, that's Crow. He's overcooked it coming through Les Combes, and that's put him right the way down to the tail of the field. I think he was as stunned by Gerrits' move as I was. Holy moly, what a move by the second Mercedes. That was a stunner. I did not expect that. But you're talking about making a gap. I think that's fair to say. That's exactly what he did. Here's another battle. Marek on the now very worn super soft tyres with Haddad and Carrington in very short order. Coming through campus. This is a battle for 7th. And then you've got Marek a little bit further. Photon a little bit further ahead. That's bordering on losing DRS off the back of them. So Marek may choose to be bringing his car in sooner rather than later. Here comes Carrington. Is he going to make a move coming up to Blanchimont? On Haddad, no, he thinks better of that one. Haddad could well make a move on Marek though. Let's have a look. There he goes, side by side before he gets to the bus stop. If Haddad's got the better tyres, he could string this one out. Is Marek in? He is, and so is Gerrits actually. So Gerrits wanted to get the traction position before he came into the pits. So Gerrits and Marek making a little bit earlier than I initially predicted, but I don't think the rest of the super soft runners are going to be far behind. So that's Haddad, Carrington, Slick, Non-Runner and Failure in that shot. And fortunately Chromatic I bet you he comes into the pits. He is indeed in the pits, so that's gone horribly wrong for Crow. What a shame. It was going so well, but this top 4 still very close. It's Preishnader. He's making a move for the lead. Wow, getting so fast on Formula Danny. Surely that's move done. He's far too far ahead before he gets into Les Combes for Formula Danny to attack, and that is the Sauber of Preishnader in the lead. That's Tunisia in third. He's putting pressure on Formula Danny. The best of the tyres are long since gone. It's gone on board with what's acting as our camera car of Timp. Look at this lot. This is a great scrap, and I get a feeling this is going to go on for a long time. 5 seconds separates 4th to 5th, Timp to Photon. The Photon's got a lot of friends behind him as well. If you go to him, this is of course the pack that Chromatic was in. So Photon has got... Oh, that's Formula Danny's lost another position. That's Tunisia on the outside of the first part of the campus chicane. Oh my goodness, the Formula Danny's tyres are just gone. He's got nothing left after a stonking pole lap. And then building up nearly a second's worth of time. He's now down to third. Surely this top... Well, I would imagine Danny's going to come in this time. I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of them did. Preishnader's got himself 7/10s up front now. Here they come through. Blanchimont once again. Is Formula Danny. Oh, look at this. There's just nothing left. There's no grip in those tyres. Tunisia defending the inside coming up to the bus stop. Who's going to come in? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, called it. They all came in at the same time on laps at the end of lap 6. That's what I thought they would do. Here comes Carrington. There goes who was that was coming in? It was Photon again on the Supersofts. So I bet Non-Runner does the same thing. All the Supersoft runners came in by lap 6 at the very latest. And they are going on to the mediums, I think. I said softs in the run-up. I should have said mediums. The softs won't make it for that long. So the soft runners, I would think, are going to come in around about 12 to 14. I would expect to see them in. The Carrington now leads the way. He's got out of DRS range of Haddad, but Slick is right on the back of the charging Renault. The championship contender has got the chasing... excuse me, the chasing Sauber in short order. The one Sauber was leading the race, of course, that of Preishnader, who's come in 5th, but he's just lost that position to Tunisia, the same way that Preishnader took the lead, actually. So David Tunisia, nice work on the Kemmel Straight. Oh, Marek and Photon swapping positions exactly the same way. That's just how powerful the Slipstream and DRS is. Go on the Kemmel Straight. Slick is staying right with Daniele Haddad. So now the soft tyres are probably at their prime about now. There's Jan Fehler. Of course, he started on those medium tyres. He'll go to hazard to get around about lap 18 or so. Haddad, you don't often see him on the penalty board. But that really will shake up the order. If the top of the field stays as compressed as it is, that's really going to hurt when we get towards the closing stages of the race. Looking at our previous pack, now Tunisia has jumped Preishnader and Formula Danny in the pit stop phase. So he's gained more than he was training by. So the effective race leader is David Tunisia, but we'll see if he's able to hang on to it, because goodness me, did Preishnader have some pace. Formula Danny, after initially really running off with it, is falling a little bit behind, but never ever count him out. Look at Preishnader. He is a man on a mission. He is looking to get back up into the lead, and why not? That's what we all want as racing drivers. And don't fool yourself. Marek, nicely done. He's getting his name on the fastest lap board. He's down in 10th. So he and Gerrits were the ones that pitted a lap earlier than the rest of the Supersoft runners. Crow, sadly, 7.7 seconds off the field after that half spin he had up at Les Combes. But again, you never know what's going to happen. What's happened to Tunisia? Nothing's happened to Tunisia. He's just been caught out on the Kemmel Straight. So that's going to happen a lot. Preishnader now takes the effective lead of the race again. But look at the Renault. He wants that back, and he wants it badly. We will see then how well Preishnader can defend off. Fending off David Tunisia. We've seen how good he is. That's not going to be an easy feat whatsoever. It's going to be very difficult for me to know where to look. Formula Danny is in the danger of losing DRS off the back of these two. So he's really got to get those tyres up to temperature and get back in the rhythm very quickly. But Preishnader and Tunisia are pressing on absolutely mad. Fair play to them. Carrington leads by 1.8 now. There he is in the Williams. Daniele Haddad still has Slick and Jan Fehler for company. So expect the top 3 at least to come in within the next 5 laps or so. Wouldn't expect... Oh, that sounded like a bit of a lock-up there for Carrington. He's pressing on. And, oh, now that I did not expect. Hada not comfortable with those soft tyres. It's got to be mediums he's going on to. No way will a set of super softs last from there. Unless he goes soft, but then he'll have to come in again. Really did not expect a two-stop race with 22 laps here. And it's mediums, indeed. Timp getting his name on the fastest lap board. He'll be quite pleased with that. He continues to chase Formula Danny Daniele Hada. Where's he going to reappear? There he is. That's 11th. Oh, of course, the... oh, no, might well still be 11th. Can Photon... No, he just about manages to steal 10th from Photon. Of course, Photon was initially up to that position, but the way that the pit lane exit is, it cuts the source a little bit. And he's going to get a bit of draft off of the back of Haddad is Photon. He's technically getting it off of Merrick as well, but he's going to be bit boxed in there. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Can Photon string that one on the outside? Yes, he does. Nicely done. So that is Haddad out of the points at the moment. That is not going well for him. Jan Fehler is up to second now. He's got Slick chasing him. So Slick's tyres are going to start to feel a bit second-hand now. So Jan Fehler is in a real strong position to at least lead the race. Bearing in mind that he started on, as a reminder, he started on those medium tyres, so is playing a very contra strategy, the only man to start on the mediums. So let's see how well the McLaren can handle its tyres from this point. They now through Blanchimont once again. 3 seconds is the lead between now Fehler and Carrington. So a good battle that is still going on between themselves and Slick. That's the Sauber locking up a bit. And Carrington's in, so I didn't call the soft tyre life right at all. I really did think it would go on longer than that. But these drivers know what they're doing. They are the best. They're the best available on the PC at the moment. Just look at Slick. Is he going to be able? And Timp again with the fastest lap. In 6th position in the Williams, chasing Formula Danny. Will Slick be able to take the race lead from Fehler? I'm not sure he will. He didn't get that great a drive through Eau Rouge and Radion. And Chromatic gets his name on the fastest lap board. He reminds us he's still here. And no, Slick does not get the race lead. Van Fehler, he's going to be on those tyres for another few laps. Look at the understeer in Slick's car as he's coming through Les Combes. That's really starting to hurt. So those soft tyres are not working well. That's Tunisia doing a move on Preschneider again. And American Photon, I bet they've just done the same thing. Yep, they did. they just repeat it. And again, that's just the nature of the Camel Straight. It's that big that the slipstreaming effect is going to just keep swapping the leader. Quite fine by me. It's a lot for me to shout about. Slick continues to chase Jan Fehler, but I would imagine Slick is going to come in pretty soon to get rid of those soft tyres. Let's have a look at this pack. This 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th in this shot. Timp is the fastest man out there at the moment. That is what it looks like from the Williams. Preschneider falling off the back of David Tunisia. The Renault starting to get a bit into his rhythm. But with what we've seen so far, you cannot discount it. Well, you can't really discount any of these drivers, in fairness, until that checkered flag falls. Through Blanchimont once again. You can see Preschneider is just positioning his car, keeping it well inside the slipstream. It's not going to be, unless he makes a dive bomb of the century. No, he's far too wise for that. But Formula Danny closing in a bit now. Let's get on board. Let's get to... Getting my controls wrong. No, not that one. That one. Preschneider. I think we're going to see 3rd position swap again. Because once again, Preschneider staying right under the rear wing of the Renault. Eau Rouge. Radion again. Nicely done. Keeps the car nice and settled. And it's just that horrid feeling. Tunisia doesn't even defend the inside line. He knows there's no point. Just the speed difference that the drivers get through the slipstream with DRS, there's no point in him jumping to the inside line. Preschneider is going to nail him anyway. Once again, the Sauber up to 3rd position. His teammate, although nearly 9 seconds up the road, Sauber 2 and 3 at the moment. That's not a bad effort. He's right with Jan Fehler, but I don't think there's enough tyre life left for Slick to do anything against the McLaren. Slick's going to be coming in roughly where I thought the soft runners would. So unless everyone on the soft tyres just got rid of them early, or Slick is stringing that out, we won't know until we speak to them later on. So you've got this 4-way battle here. Oh, Marek getting a 3-second penalty. That's a bit of a shame. And then we jump to Haddad. He's at the back of a 5-car train. So this is Carrington, Garrix, Photon, Marek and Haddad. 7th down to 11th in this shot. Just about see Carrington coming through Stavolo and Porfray now. So that's only separated by a couple of seconds at best. That's a great brawl that's forming there. Tunisia is staying with. It's a shame that Hadi Cam isn't a little bit further out. There's Preschneider and there's Formula Danny. And that's Failer in. He must have had a wing trouble. That's got to be a front wing change for him. There's no reason the medium runners would come in so soon. No, just tyres. How peculiar. How strange. Did not expect that at all. Soft tyres. For Failer, he's got a... Well, he can do it. No, they will last that long. So, again, a contra strategy for Failer, but you never know. Could come off. His teammate getting the fastest lap of the race at the tail of the field, so he has been pushing on. And Preschneider and Tunisia swap position again. Yep, exactly the same way they have done all race long. But Formula Danny is now right with them. Now, that kind of dance they do on the Kemmel Straight, where one car overtakes one and then they just swap position again on the following lap, only really works when there's two people in the mix. When you've got a third in there, that really does spice things up. And then you've got Timp that is only a few tenths back as well. So that dance is really going to get interesting on the Kemmel Straight next time around. Although Preschneider's lost a few tenths on Tunisia, so it could well be that the Sauber's having to play the defensive game a bit earlier than he would have liked. But we will see. We will see how that transpires. It's difficult to know where to look because I want to keep an eye on this battle, but equally I can see Haddad is close to Marek as well. Let's just quickly check in with our second Renault. There he is with Marek for company, falling a little bit off the back of Photon, who in turn is chasing Garrix. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Where did Failer reappear? Failer reappeared in 11th. He's 2.5 behind this battle on the soft tyres. So let's see how he does as the race progresses. Here comes Haddad. Is he going to try and move? No, that door got closed off. Tunisia, well. The medium-shod Renault now really getting into his rhythm with a 1:44.7. Starting to chase off into the distance. He wants to get away from the ever-present Preschneider. And still Slick hasn't come in. That surely is pushing... judging by where everyone else has pitted, that's probably going to be too long on those soft tyres, but we will see how well he manages that. Formula Danny is getting close to Preschneider. Here we go again on the Kemmel Straight. What can Preschneider do? Surely he's not going to try and move on Tunisia from that far back. He doesn't, but he closes right back in on the Renault. It's going to force Tunisia to go defensive. But we'll see, because if Tunisia's got a decent amount of pace, by the fact that he's just set the fastest lap, rather confers that he does. And Formula Danny, I wouldn't be at all surprised he's just biding his time. He doesn't want to get involved in the battle ahead, but he knows that Tim's chasing him. So it wouldn't be at all surprising if he's not pushing to get involved in the battle ahead, but he's keeping his eyes very much on that Williams behind. As Haddad and Marek have swapped position in exactly the same way. I would have no surprise on that one. They're coming through Blanchimont. So Haddad now going to chase off after Photon. Tim staying very much close to Danny. And this is going to go to the flag. Unless someone throws it into the wall, this battle is going to go to the flag. And it's not going to be an easy victory for any of them. Tim falling a little way back. Off the back of Danny at the moment, but nothing too bad. He'll stay in contention with this group for a while yet. Preschneider just doing what he can. He wants to set himself up yet again for that run down the Kemmel Straight. And finally, Slick has brought his car in. I did say around 12 to 14, but I was thinking all of them were coming in at 12 to 14, and he's actually the last man to do so. So keep an eye on where the Sauber reappears. Oh, bit of a lock-up for Preschneider. Oh, not a good run on the exit of La Source either. Super softs for Slick. Wow, that's brave. I can't see that they're going to last that long, but who knows? I've made several tyre calls wrong. Oh, let's get on board with Formula Danny because he's close. There's Tunisia. There's Preschneider. There's Formula Danny. Oh, is he going to try and nail the pair of them outside of Les Combes? That's twice we've seen someone make a two-car overtake on the end of the Kemmel Straight. That's what he was biding his time for. What a move by Danny. It's a shame we couldn't quite see it in all its glory. But Formula Danny picked his moment perfectly. Brachnady went for the inside. Formula Danny said, fine, I'll have this small space out here, and pinches the lead under their noses. What a move. And so that's Tunisia down to third, and now with Tim in short succession. But we saw how Formula Danny wasn't able to run away from Brachnady previously. We'll see if he is able to do this, either break away this time, or whether Brachnady was able to close him down again. What a move. I couldn't believe it when Garrix did it, and now his teammates just done it for the lead. Oh, Tunisia very sideways coming through Stavolo. That's not going to help him keep in touch with Brachnady. Oh my goodness, Tim, that was close to the wall. Failure again with a penalty. That's a shame for the McLaren runner. He's actually right with Marek, so here his strategy starting to become good. But here comes Tim. He wants to get on the podium at this rate. Oh wow, what a great battle we've got set up for these four drivers, all the way, all of them running the same tyre, the same length of time, and Formula Danny is stolen the fastest lap by about a tenth, in fairness. But wow, none of them are letting go. And Tunisia bit deep, and a big snap of oversteer on the exit of La Source. That could possibly throw him in the clutches of Tim as they come down the Camel Straight. Here we go again. Let's stay on board actually with Tim. He's the back car of the four. Here comes the Williams. He's surely going to nail the Renault. The Renault's got DRS off of the Sauber. The Sauber off the back of the Mercedes. Here comes Tim. Can he get it done? That's not yet done. No, Tunisia's not ready to let that position go. Tim bides his time. He doesn't want to lose a front wing. Ooh, steady on. And Carrington on the penalty board. That's a shame. He's fifth. He's 2.5 seconds behind this battle with slightly fresher tyres on his car. But he's pushed too hard to try and catch up with him. Just saw him in the back of the shot, actually. So that's a bit of a shame for him that he's got that penalty on. But we will see how that transpires before the race is done. But wow, Tunisia, as I thought, there is Carrington actually with just short of Photon and Garrix. Garrix in his battle with Photon, so that's a battle for sixth with Haddad in short succession as well. Again, remember that Garrix pitted earlier than the rest, along with Marek. Marek's down to 10th now. Failer has gone past him, so the charging McLaren on the softer rubber is not leaving anything on the table. He is pushing very, very hard, as we saw, which unfortunately has bit him a little bit. Here comes Williams Timp again. Tunisia way too far back to make a move into the bus stop. But once again, forward planning. This is what the best of the best do. They've got great setups, great amount of practice, of course, great amount of skill. You know, that goes without saying, but they're thinking ahead. You know, there's not a case of, oh, I must make a move here, I must make a move here. They're thinking 3, 4, 5 corners down the road. Oh, but not a good drive out of La Source. And slick. Unsurprising, he's got the softer rubber. A 44.3 for the Sauber. Oh, steady Tim. He's not going to be able to make a move. And Danny now starting to get into his stride. He's very nearly a second ahead of Brachnady. Brachnady, of course, going to gain a couple of tenths, 3 tenths indeed, on the Camel Straight. Tunisia staying in touch, and Williams Tib is staying there as well as Photon and Garrix swap position once again with that kind of camel dance that I'm nicknaming it. And Haddad right in there as well. Oh, a bit of a snap of oversteer from the Renault. The Renault with the youngest tyres of this particular pack of 3. So Photon will want to get back on with the job and get ahead of Garrix. We've seen how well Garrix can fight his corner. So that battle is going to go on for a while. The rest of the field a little bit spread out. But still, this pack of 4 close, and they're close enough to remind each other that they're there. So Formula Danny, of course he knows he's in the lead, but he can't just get the feeling of, I'm going to run off into the distance and then not think about anything else for the rest of the race. He knows that Brachnady is there, and he's just hanging on to DRS at the moment. Marek, oh, not again. A 3-second penalty for the Haas driver. A bit of a shame there. Williams Tim is actually the closest closest contender within this top 4. There is Carrington in the back of the shot. A little bit too far back, but I don't know that he's going to get too involved in this battle. Here we come again. Through La Source. And again, a big amount of wheel spin on the back of the Williams for Tim. And Schneider staying about 7/10 behind Formula Danny this time. He could close in another 3/10 as we saw on the previous lap. So once again, Slipstream and DRS helping these guys. And Formula Danny feeling the need to jump to the inside line, probably trying to break the toe more than defend the line. But once again, exactly as I thought, 3/10 gone out of the lead. So Formula Danny will be keeping an eye on the timings as well. He can't just concentrate on his own lines. He knows Schneider's there. Schneider has been blindingly quick this race. Calling the driver of the day, though, is going to be very, very hard. But ladies and gentlemen, get your votes in for the driver of the day. Let's see who you are voting for. Who is getting your backing in this race? This pack of three, this is a battle for six. Garrix, Photon and Haddad. So Haddad again not having a great run. Started the season so well, but it just has not been able to repeat the form. There's Jan Failer as well, up to 9th. Such a shame he's got that penalty because he's been charging on absolutely brilliantly well. Slick with the fastest lap at the moment. But all could change in the blink of an eye. Such is the nature of Formula One. Just one mistake, especially at a circuit as fast as this, and we'll see you beelining towards the wall. Here they come again into the bus stop. Everyone staying in contention to the car ahead. Tim getting a great amount of coverage today as he's acting as our camera car for the battle ahead of him. Into the source once again. And Danny possibly a little hesitant coming through that, but keeps 7/10. But that gap, lap on lap, has been getting smaller. But this is going to be interesting. 3/10 between Tunisia and Schneider, and the same again between Tim and Tunisia. Here we go. Something's going to happen this time. Here comes the Williams on the Renault. Who's going to top out first? Actually, the Williams has topped out. So he topped out about 209 miles an hour. What's it, about 330, I think, kilometers an hour. And look how they've all bunched up. That is amazing to see. Ooh, Williams, Tim catching that one nicely. Oh, Tunisia's gone deep coming into Bruxelles. Can the Williams get alongside him? No, not quite. But Tunisia is pushing very, very hard. And it's those little mistakes that unsettle you as a driver but bolsters your opponents. You know, Tim has witnessed that and will be smiling in that, smiling in his seat, knowing that he is pushing Tunisia into potential mistakes. And yet again, Danny just the last couple of races, Danny has just got into the lead and run off. No such luck here at Spa. He's having to fight for every inch of track that he's got. We only less than 5 laps to go. This race has flown by, and Failer is now on the back of this battle. So 2 4-car battles going on, 1st to 4th and 7th to 10th. Sorry, 6th to 9th, beg your pardon. Photon, Garrix, Haddad and Failer in this pack. There's the Renault of Haddad trying to do something very close to the Mercedes. Whoa, look at everybody getting the tails out. But no dice at the moment. And then just behind the Renault, you've got the McLaren of Jan Failer, but he's got to clear this pack and get a 3-second lead between them to hold on to any positions. The way he's been going, you never know. And Tunisia's getting close to Schneider. Here we go again along the Kemmel Straight. So as soon as this lot's done, I can jump back to the 4-car train behind them. Is Schneider going to have a dive on the inside? Oh my goodness! Wow! Tunisia came absolutely thundering into Lake Arm. Whether it was Schneider who was cautious or Tunisia missed his braking spot, that was incredibly close between the Renault and the Sauber. This 4-way pack rather didn't really shuffle around, but Haddad is right with Garrix, as is Tunisia with Schneider. So both the Renaults in a very, very hot battle at the moment. On board with the lead Renault. Tunisia looking to get his championship challenge back on track. Through campus once again. 4 laps to go. 3.5 laps to go by now. And Tim, of course, not far off the back of that battle either. Oh, again, you go wide down. You're so close to the wall. Tim, you've given me a heart attack twice. Tim is trying to kill me. Through Blanchimont once again. No one trying to move into the bus stop. Not surprised. You've got to be very brave and hope that the guy's seen you. If you're going to try and sail one on the inside there, Haddad is side by side with Garrick coming into the bus stop. But Garrick's on the inside rather. There is Jan Failer to try and put the pressure on the Renault. What Garrick wants. Garrick's tyres are probably starting to really feel very second hand now. Here they come again into the source, and again looks like a bit of understeer from Garrick. Has given Haddad a bit of a run. Let's get on board with Failer. You can see how they're jostling around, but as he is, get on board with Tim. Look at this. Once again, you know something's going to happen. Formula Danny is probably the only safe man. Haddad has got a penalty. Oh no, that's brilliant. He dropped him out of that battle he's in. That actually just puts him alongside Failer, essentially. Let's get to Failer as Haddad and Gary side by side. Oh, that was actually Failer side by side with... Oh, Garrick's has dropped 2 positions there, so it was the Mercedes that lost out. As I jumped to Failer, I thought it was Haddad, he was alongside, but Garrick's lost 2 positions in that section. So Failer and Haddad still, I think they're both in the same amount of penalties, so they'll be chasing. That is for position between them. But again, the top 4, and Formula Danny's been reeled in. Formula Danny has not been able to extend that gap at all. Now less than 3 tenths between Preschneider and Formula Danny. 3.5 tenths, Tunisia to Preschneider, and less than 3 tenths, Williams Timp to David Tunisia. Absolutely incredible. I had this last year at Spa, where I was screaming for most of it, and once again this here has not disappointed as far as Spa Francorchamps is concerned. Here we go again. Blanchimont, who's going to make the move into the bus stop? Here comes Preschneider, here comes Tunisia. There's Preschneider. Is Tunisia going to try and move to try and nail the pair of them? No, but you've got the Mercedes and the Sauber side by side. Bit of an impact there. Preschneider's going to have the inside. There's Tim trying to make a move in the Renault. 2 side by sides, 2 pairs, and the Renault sides alongside the Sauber. Who's going to win out on that one? And Preschneider in all of that has managed to steal the lead. Goodness me, the camera wasn't quite positioned in the right place. There's Tunisia and Preschneider side by side. There's going to be Brave side by side on Eau Rouge. And then Radion, here comes Tim. Oh, he's been forced miles off the road. Preschneider's got a penalty as a result. Oh, what a shame for the Sauber. But here comes Tim. He's nailed Tunisia. Is he going to get Preschneider? Are they going to get Formula Danny? No, Preschneider just manages to fend them off. We're on the penultimate lap of this race. My goodness me, what a shame there for Preschneider. He's got himself a penalty. He could appeal it. It is certainly possible to do. We'll see if he felt he was forced off the road. He might ask for the penalty to be repealed. We will see. But Carrington, he's in the closing stage of the race. He's now involved. He's in DRS range as well. So the second Williams is now getting involved in this. But Tunisia will want to make the on-track overtakes. Danny has... I wonder whether Danny knows how much battling is going on behind him. He knows they're close, but I doubt he's going to be able to watch. I mean, what a great shame, because such a great battle going on. There's Carrington. He's really getting involved. His tyres are actually 3 laps younger than everyone ahead of him. If he's got anything left, you may well see Carrington getting involved in the final lap. The previous pack, I think, is dispersed. Garrix has got a problem. He's now 1.6, 1.7 behind Failer. That's a shame. He may well have picked up damage in that altercation. Haddad is close to Photon, but right now I'm keeping an eye on the top 5. Absolutely amazing. The top 5 separated by, what, 1.8 seconds. Absolutely amazing. Here we go for the final time in this race. Formula Danny leads Preschneider, leads Tim, leads Tunisia, leads Carrington. All of them within half a second of the car ahead. Surely this time we're going to see some more moves going on. Who to jump on board with? That's going to be the question. Let's jump on board with Carrington at the moment. Look at where Formula Danny's going. He's trying to break the toe, but he can't weave too often. Here comes Preschneider. He could well take the lead. He's jumping to the outside for Lecom, but no, he breaks out of that when he may realise that there's no point because of the penalties going on. Haddad has taken Photon's position and Failer's in there as well. I would love to look, but right now this pack is so close. And oh no, Failer's gone. Failer is off. Oh no, it's all undone itself for Jan Failer. The recovery drive for the McLaren has just completely killed itself. What a shame. But this battle rages on. Down to Pouon. Here they come. Preschneider still pressuring for the lead. But that penalty is just going to drop him completely. Drop him down to 5th. Still going to be decent on all the points. But whoa, what might have been for what was a race leader in this in this epic battle we've got going on. Tunisia wants to nail Tim. Carrington wants to get involved. He's going to have a look at the inside. Oh, nudge between Carrington and Tunisia coming into Stavolo. I don't know that my voice will hold, but I don't care. I'm screaming away anyway. Here we go for the final time. It's a long Blanchimont. Tim is looking to get past Preschneider. And look at that, Carrington on the inside of Tunisia. He forces the runner wide. Tunisia gets a penalty as a result. Surely he'll probably get that appealed, I'd have thought. But that's going to shuffle the order. Here they come. Oh, and that's Tunisia and Tim side by side. Carrington's getting involved in there. Tunisia's just about recovered. Formidani's going to take the position. Tim is elevated to second. Preschneider. Oh my goodness me. Preschneider is actually classified as third because of the penalties. Tunisia had a penalty and Carrington had a penalty as well. So Preschneider third, Tunisia fourth, Carrington fifth, Photon sixth. They've all crossed the line and I haven't had a chance to catch them. Oh my goodness. What an incredible race. Then you had to get across the line is chromatic. And, well, why not? He's had enough of this race. Give us some donuts, Crow. Why not? Wow. Now, I would not be at all surprised if there's some steward inquiries going on, or will go on because of the penalties. But right now, oh, what a race this has been. Oh, Hamish, you'll be kicking yourself that you weren't able to join us for this one. Holy moly, look at that. Formula Danny. He must have felt the pressure from this one. There's no way this could have been an easy win for him. So that is Mercedes, Williams and Sauber at the top spot. Danny, Tim and Preschneider. Oh, now I finally get a chance to catch my breath. Hoo-wee. This Spa was pretty epic last year. I remember that was absolutely stonking. So there it is, as it stands at the moment. Formula Danny is your race winner. That's not going to change. Tim 2, Preschneider 3, Tunisia 4, Carrington 5, Photon 6, Haddad 7, Slick 8, Garrix 9, Marek 10, Non-Runner 11, Failure 12. What a shame for him, getting that big moment at the end there. And Crow rounding out the field. Oh my goodness me. I hope people have made themselves available to talk to me. They haven't yet, but hopefully they will. Oh, it's a bit of a shame. There's not many in Discord at the moment, but I'll give them some time. They'll probably want to kind of catch their breath and see what's what after this race, because that was a stonker. The post-race interviews are not mandatory, so it is not a case of they must come in and talk to me. And wow. Whew, I generally am stunned at that. That was such an incredible race for so long. That battle went on for with and then Carrington getting right stuck in there right at the end. Oh, voting for driver of the day. That's going to be difficult. That's difficult for me. For me, I think it's going to be Preschneider, to be honest, because Preschneider's not had the greatest season and he pulled off some stunning moves. But you can't take it away from that, barge through the middle from Garrix to take 2 positions coming into Lake Holm, and then Danny doing exactly the same thing. Oh wow, what a great, amazing set of circumstances for the Mercedes. And I have got some people waiting to talk to me. Ha ha ha! Lovely. Right, let's get them in. It's actually our podium 3. Fabulous. Oh my. And I've caught them in the middle of exasperating, same as I have been for the last I don't know how long, gentlemen. Right, let us come over to who to talk to. I'm going to talk to all of you, of course. I want to talk to Mr. Preschneider, because you, sir, you pulled off some amazing moves. It's such a shame for that penalty right at the end there, but what a performance, sir.
Yeah, I mean, finally some luck was on my side. In previous races I wasn't that lucky, so I was hoping for a little bit better race now, but I wasn't really expecting this, and I don't know, it might be P2 if my penalty gets removed, because I didn't really have, I had nowhere to go, but we'll see. I did comment on... Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I made that very same point, that there may be a couple of penalties looked at post-race, but even still, oh man, great effort. Well done, Preschneider. That was absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Timp, you were my cameraman for a very long time in this race, because were you kind of struggling to keep up or get involved, or were you biding your time and waiting for an opportunity to present itself? Because obviously you were kind of car 4 in that long train for so long. I was using your camera perfectly well. Were you biding your time, or were you just flat out as long as you could be?
Well, honestly though, I don't know if you saw, but we all entered pits like next to each other, everyone, like inside 1 second. And then I got held in the pits, and that cost me like 2 seconds, or like at least like a second and a half. So that made me like to push a lot and use my ERS. The first 2 laps looked like desperate, like I'm not gonna catch these guys, they're gonna have DRS. But then they started battling a bit, and I got DRS on Danny, and then I kinda catch the thing, and I catch the train. And to be fair, I was kind of biding my time, though, like I didn't wanna risk it on it. Like I knew when the laps are going to get closer to the end, the racing is gonna be like there's gonna be much more battles, because obviously not anyone is gonna stay behind each other and just drive on a train. So and I was actually correct. Like everyone started battling in the end, and yeah, that made me too. Well, to be fair, also I got message that Smash had a penalty, so that's why. To be fair, if I didn't know he had a penalty, I would have gone for the dive in the last bus stop in the last lap, but because I knew that I didn't, that's why I didn't do it. So yeah, I'm honestly sweating so much right now. So yeah, the race was insane. Like it's literally 0 laps where I had like a chill moment. So.
You guys gave me so much to scream about. You, oh goodness me, loved it. Thank you very much, Mr. Tino, and of course our race winner once again, Formula Danny. That did not look like an easy win. You must have been very conscious of all the battling going on. Even you must have been working hard to keep that hold of the lead.
Oh my god, like this is my reaction. 2014, or not 2014, but season 14 Russia was an amazing race, but I think it tops that. It's the best race of my life. I sweat so hard, my PC is like so hot, and everything worked perfectly for that victory, because it wasn't an easy one. First of all, I would like to thank you to all of the guys I raced with, because they kept it very, very fair. There wasn't major contact, wasn't wide pushing moments, and they made it possible for me to have the win, but they also made it possible to all the viewers, the commentators, to enjoy the race, because all of the drivers in the top 4, and I believe that in every part of the field, was amazingly fast and clear, and I just want to congratulate to all. And yes, this is probably my hardest race win ever, because there are many long straights, insanely long straights, and it's nearly impossible to break the DRS. But a few times I tried it, I tried my best, I really pushed my ERS to 0%, and it was like 9/10 or 1.5 thousandths of a second, and it was always very close, but I just couldn't get the last single tenth or two to pull out of DRS. And for the last laps, I just tried to save as much ERS as I can. When I saw that they will not have the chance to attack me, I put it down to none. All of the corners I was on none, and I always paid attention to the best exit possible. The first stint was nearly the same. I tried to keep everyone behind, but in the last lap, in 6th lap of the first stint, 2 cars passed me, because I literally had no tires left. I pushed so hard I nearly crashed in Puhan. I had a very huge sideways moment there, but obviously everything needed to be in perfection to win this race, and I'm very glad that I could live through this moment, and I'm very glad that I can watch it back because you were here. I miss Hamish a little bit. I wish he will see it, and yeah, on to the next one, guys.
I'm sure he'll be kicking himself that he missed this one as well, but that is the nature of real life getting in the way. Wow, what an amazing race that all of our drivers put on for us, to be fair. and no one else wanting to have a chat with me. It's absolutely fine. So now it's time to wrap it up. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. It's been a great pleasure to commentate for you guys. Thank you very much to our drivers for what has been one of the best races I have commentated on. I love commentating, we all know this, and F1 never fails to generate some actions, but my god, that was absolutely crazy. My throat is raw, but I don't care. What a way for it to go. Thank you very much to our sponsors for joining us and supporting AOR. Without you guys, the growth would simply not be there. And we'll be back for more AOR action very soon. Thank you very much, and good night.